So I guess the last video of the self-imported excavator from China kind of blew up. 1.4 million views right now. But anyways, I feel that there is some things that I need to address a little bit more clearer. For instance, the price and also the import process. So in this video we will go through the importing process, pricing, and maybe take a closer look of the machine itself. So let me show you how I got this machine all the way from China to Norway. So it was a perfectly normal day when I was browsing the internet. I ended up on Alibaba.com and I searched for mini excavator, and then this popped up. What met me was a whole page of amazing offers, like this machine, a 3.5 ton excavator with a Euro 5 Coupert engine. I have never wanted an excavator more than now. Just think about all the times I've been standing there with a shovel. And the price, only $2,000 for a 3.5 ton machine. Of course, I clicked the link. I had already made up my mind. Before I go to bed this evening, I'm going to have ordered a mini excavator from China. And I wasn't going to tell my partner, Mari, until this machine was in the actual driveway and I could present what a great deal I made. So I went a step further on the page. Here I was even more surprised. It cost the same for a 0.8 ton machine as for a 4 ton machine. That's insane value for money. I'll order 10 4 tons machine right away. Or stop right there. I need to think about this. Yeah, I take 12 machines. But then, for some reason, this popped up. As perfectly planned by the sellers on Alibaba, I became very curious about those machines because of the advertised price. The only problem was that I don't live in China. I live in Norway. It's about 6,900 kilometers away. So how could I know if the machines were decent quality or not? Well, maybe by ordering one. I then sent some inquiries to different suppliers, and as I mentioned in the previous video, none of the offers I got back were anywhere near the advertised $2,000 price. But still, they were only a fraction of what a similar Japanese-made machine cost here in Norway. So after a short time, I received many different offers. There was a wide range between the various prices and the machines themselves. Still, I got good contact with a Chinese manufacturer called Jining Vote Machinery Technology Company Limited, located in the northeast of China. In short, Vote from China. The first offer I received was for the standard model called VTW 1.2, and this is basically an open machine. It doesn't have a cabin, and it was missing several of the features I was asking for, such as expandable tracks, pilot controls, adjustable blade, and a swing boom. This model also comes standard with an engine called Coupert 192, which is a Chinese-made engine. So it wasn't exactly the machine I was looking for. So I kindly asked them to make an offer on a machine with these requirements. The machine had to weigh 1.2 tons, adjustable tracks, a cab, a thumb claw, a swing boom, pilot controls, expandable blade, hydraulic quick coupler, and most importantly, a Kubota diesel engine, not one of the single-cylinder gasoline engines that most Chinese mini excavators come with. On top of that, I wanted quite a bit of extra equipment. I guessed it was much cheaper to buy all that together with the machine from China rather than buying it locally here in Norway. So I gave them this list of additional equipment that I wanted. Different digging buckets, grading buckets, pallet forks, an auger, a grapple, and so on. So to the most important part, the prices. It goes like this. For the machine itself, with the specifications I had given, it was $6,200. And for the equipment, $1,590. This included shipping from China to the port in Oslo, Norway. The total cost were therefore $7,790. But then there was the matter of the port the machine would be shipped to. It was in Oslo. I don't live there. It's 550 kilometers away from where I live. I then got a new price, which included transport by truck from Oslo to my city. It was an additional $600. The total cost was then $8,390. After some back and forth, I got a $200 discount if I prepaid 30% of the amount that day. I thought, it's extremely stupid to prepay that much money to a seller in China, 6,900 kilometers away for something I haven't seen, and to someone I don't know. I'm not that stupid. A few seconds later, it was paid. The new price was then $8,190. From there, all I could do was hope for the best, that the machine would actually be built. About 4 weeks later, I got a message from my friend Michael on WhatsApp. The machine was finished and everything looked good in the pictures. It matched what I had ordered. The next step was to pay the remaining 70% for the machine. Since transferring large sums of money to strangers on the other side of the world isn't exactly ideal, I made sure to do it quickly, just to get it over with. The contract and payment was done through the Alibaba platform. After that, I tried to forget the whole thing for months, hoping that one day a positive surprise would show up. My very own excavator delivered to my doorstep, but that's not exactly how it went. After about 3 months, I got an email from Green Carrier, informing me that I had a machine on its way to me. The ship carrying the machine would dock about a week later in Oslo, and they offered me to help with the customs declaration, which was nice, I thought. It cost about $100. But they also told me that the transport from Oslo to my city did not include unloading at my home. So I asked them kindly if they could drop it off at my place instead. After all, it was actually a shorter distance than the central station. Of course they could do that, but it will be another $500 excluding VAT. Well, I didn't have another choice, so this had nothing to do with the actual delivery company. It was real nice. Green Carrier had just hired that company to do the transportation. But when the invoice came from Green Carrier, there were some surprises. The shipping from China to Norway, which was supposed to be included, did not cover much. There was a bunch of extra fees. Destination terminal handling fee, destination harbor fee, NOx surcharge fee, ESPS charge fee, destination documentation fee, LCL charge fee, destination environmental fee, destination emergency risk fee, oversize fee, low surf or surcharge fee, and this invoice totaled $1,580. The machine now costs $9,770 in total. If you don't include the VAT, it was additional $250 for the fees and about $2,000 for the machine itself, including shipping. So, the final price? $12,020 including VAT in Norway. The imported machine is a tracked excavator classified under the HS code 8429.52, and under the Norwegian customs tariff, this category carries a customs duty rate of 0%. So yes, I got a bit dizzy from all those fees. This was my first time importing an excavator from China, and there were many things I could have done differently. And if I were to import again, I would make sure to get a detailed offer where all the shipping costs are included. And most likely, it's best to get quotes directly from the freight company, covering everything from pickup of the machine to delivery at the correct address in the correct city. And an important thing. Remember, if you're importing an excavator to Europe, make sure it's CE certified. That means that the machine meets all the European standards for safety, health and environmental protection. And also check if the engine complies with the Stage V emission standard, which is required for construction machinery in EU. Without CE marking and the correct engine certification, your machine can be stopped at customs or even banned from use in Europe. And if you're importing an excavator to the United States, the rules are different. There's no CE marking. Instead, the machine must meet the OSHA and ANSI safety standards. The engine has to be certified to EPA Tier 4 Final, which is the American emission standard. And remember, there can be import duties and custom fees, usually up to a few percent. So always check with the manufacturer if they can sell you the documentation before you buy. I almost forgot the tariffs. I don't know. I haven't checked today's status. So stay tuned and we will have a detailed look of the machine. Both the negative parts and also the positives. So there it is. Not the biggest machine, but I guess that's what I ordered. So why did I buy an excavator all the way from China instead of locally here in Norway? I could have bought a Japanese main mold like a Kubota or Hitachi, but they are around 3 or 4 times the price for the similar size. And I can't afford that for a machine that I really don't need that much. Then this thing is more good enough. So it's all about saving money. And that also brings me on to today's sponsor. Coupert. As you might have noticed, I really need to buy a diesel transfer pump. And when you are buying online, the same product is often sold by a bunch of different suppliers and for completely different prices. Coupert automatically compares prices across the platforms and show me where it's the cheapest. So it's a free browser extension that works automatically in the background while you shop. And the best part, when you go to checkout, Coupert tests every available coupon for you. Plus, you can even earn cashbacks on your purchases. And Coupert is completely free and super easy to use. Click the link in the description to download it and start saving money on your next online purchase. So, a huge thanks to Coupert for sponsoring this video. And now, back to the machine. So let's take a closer look at the machine itself. So the first thing I want to say is that I'm not an excavator expert, but I do recognize quality when I see it. And in this case, I see some of it. For instance, the boom setup seems to be well thought out of. So there is not possible to crash the second part into the first part, and also there is not possible to crash the actual thumb claw into the window. But I was able to crash a bucket into here, but I guess that's on me. So I ordered this machine with a hydraulic quick coupler, and this is basically a small cylinder inside here, opening and closing the gap here so that the attachment can be changed with only a press of a button. So the hydraulic quick coupler is the reason for this line, which is sticking out way too much, because now it's easy to get this stuck on something and either break the coupling here or the line itself. So I'm going to do something about that. And as I said in the previous video, the machine came with a grease gun. Not a very high quality grease gun, but I think it's good enough. And a machine, everywhere where it's moving parts, there is points for pressing grease in. I have another one here, so let's try. Seems to fit. Yeah, that works. And by the looks of it, also the dozer blade setup seems to be quite well made. There is a grease point here and here, also there and there. So if there is something missing here, I would say it's probably a guard or something over here, protecting the lines and also the cylinder. And having a look of the blade itself, it's made out of 6mm thick steel, and it's also expandable. So by adding this part, it's possible to wind it the same width as for the tracks when they are expanded. And to lock it in place, you need to attach this pin, a pin with a hole in it, like so. And then there is this guy going in the hole. So this is a okay setup, I guess, but I would like to see it being able to expand the blade with a hinge setup or something like that. It is what it is. And this machine also came with a hydraulic swing boom. There is a center pin here and a cylinder here, making it able to swing only the swing boom and not the actual cab. Of course, you can turn the cab around also. And this function is quite practical when digging next to probably a house or a wall or somewhere where it's a tight squeeze. And the lines and everything seems to be quite good protected inside here. To check the level of hydraulic fluids, it's a simple gouge here on the outside. And it's the same for the other side, where I can see the fuel level. So there is no meter inside the actual cab, but if I run it almost entirely out, it will stop and the little red light will start flashing. So yeah, it's good enough. So I have not mentioned anything about lighting to vote when ordering the machine. But as you see, they added a LED work light here on the boom and also two at top. And they work great. So let's move to the back side. First thing, this is real cast iron, not some 0.5mm sheet metal. And here is the belt motors. And I do know that there is several manufacturers that make them a lot smaller and also somewhat integrated into the actual belts. Well, not into the belts, but yeah, you know. And if they are sticking out a bit, they often add some protective metal, so yeah, so it's not that easy to damage the motors. So this is, oops. This is supposed to hang here. So the windows feels like car glass, and this is of course metal. There is a small window on the other side, and that window is actual glass. And then there's this little strange thing. Not so many Chinese excavators have this. And that's, of course, if you see here, this part goes in. And now it's locked. And to open it, just simply push there. But I have noticed one part with the door that's not so good. So if you see here, this part crashes. And of course this is damaging the paint job here, and probably it will start to rust here. And my first thought was to adjust the hinges here, just push the door a little bit more this way. They are welded on and there is no adjustments on them. Probably I will have to bend them a little bit or cut them off and weld them on back again. But if you have any tips to how to do this, please let me know in the comments. So let's have a look on the inside. So here it is a main power switch. And of course I have forgotten to turn it off several times already, but the machine is always starting, so that's not a big deal. And then there is the seat. It's possible to move it front and back. It's also armrests on both sides. And there is a seat belt attached to the seat. And by opening two bolts on the back side, it's possible to open it and then access to the engine. And as the seat was mounted from the factory, I thought it was a bit low, so you see here I have added 3 nuts just to lift it up a little bit, just to make it a little bit more comfortable, because I'm 190 high and I don't think that's the typical Chinese man or woman. So the setup on this machine is of course as a normal excavator with the same functions. I don't remember anything now when I'm just sitting in there. I need to. So most of the Chinese excavators comes only with a lot of sticks here in front to control both the tracks and also the movement of the swing boom and bucket and all that. Because with this setup I can just sit here with my arms on the armrests and feel like I'm the king of the world. The machine also comes with a real high quality windscreen wiper. And it also comes with a radioactive fan. Here it's a set of foot pedals. So this is for the dozer blade, and I think it's for the swing boom and for the claw. And a little bummer is that there is no foot pedal for the tracks. So if I were to change the placement of the machine, I will have to leave the sticks here and then control it like so and then back. So some manufacturers also have foot pedals just mounted on the sticks here. So this switch is for turning the lights on and off, and this switch is for toggling between 2 functions for the foot pedal on the right here. So if I leave the switch in the position it's right now, this foot pedal will control the height of the dozer blade. But when I do like so, the same pedal will control the tracks. So by pressing the pedal like so, the tracks will go out, and the other way, of course, in. And I was looking all over the place how to control the hydraulic quick coupler. And it turned out to be this button, the horn button on the right stick. So if I press this one, the bucket, or in this case the pallet forks, will fall off. So another nice feature is this thing, a temp reader. Now it's 15 degrees Celsius. And this lever is the throttle. So by pressing this button I can adjust it to the position or the RPM that I want. And there is no movement, so it works great. And on the other side there is a time reader, now reading 12 hours. So I haven't used it all that much yet. And the machine also comes with an engine. So this is a Coupert D722 EF18, and it's a 3-cylinder diesel engine producing about 13 horsepower. It's plenty strong for this machine. And the fuel consumption, it's between very little and nothing. So before I was starting the machine for the first time, I wanted to check the oil. And I was looking all over to find the oil level gauge, and it turned out to be behind here. So that's a bit. So later I'm gonna reconfigure the placement of the oil filter and also all the electronics so that I can more easily access the oil level gauge. But overall the engine is a Coupert and it's really good. So I will run the machine a little bit more before I'm changing the oil for the first time. So if I should sum up the parts that I don't like with the machine, it's the missing guards over the hydraulics, both the motors and also the hydraulic pistons. It's the door not being able to adjust, and like now it's crashing. And it's the lack of foot pedals to drive the thing, because now I will have to take my hands off the sticks and control it like so. And there is the hydraulic lines that sticks out a bit, needs to be fixed. And then there is this part, I haven't mentioned it yet because it's not a big deal, but I do see that they have probably damaged the panel here and tried to fix it with a spray can. So there is a different color here and it doesn't matter. Another thing that may have room for improvement is the placement of the fuel cap, because now it's under here and under here. And it will likely never happen, but if I were to spill some diesel over, it will smell like, yeah, diesel in here. So if you want to see the machine in action, here is some clips from the previous video.